Today, April 4th, 4-4, they are showing what they have prepared for number 44, Barack Hussein Obama. Before you discount it, look at the evidence I'm going to show you. The image of the beast, the miracle maker, is ready. They've prepared it, and they've been showing it off to each other. This note is for anyone new watching this video. You will see gematria in this video. The satanic elites speak a numeric coded language called gematria, and always have. For more information, research Aleister Crowley and gematria. He was heavily into it and is the forerunner for these Satanists of this day. He is a key occultic figure in history. Do what thou wilt is one of the main satanic tenets that comes from him. Jay-Z has worn that on his t-shirt in the past, for example. Jay-Z is best buddies with Obama. Anyhow, there are copies of notes Aleister Crowley has kept, and it's sheets and sheets of Hebrew and Greek gematria. This is proof that they are invested in gematria. You will see me show Hebrew and Greek gematria from the original text in the Bible, as well as English, Hebrew, English, and simple gematria that is used today. Before I show you that, I'm going to read you the passage about the image of the beast in Revelation, so that you know what is coming quickly upon all of us. Then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth. It had 2 horns. This is symbolic language, like a lamb, but it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all the authority of the first beast and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed. You're going to see Trump sign ASL for gunshot before they show the image and what it can do. Okay, fatal wound. Trump made a gunshot sign. I don't know, I'm just saying. And it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to the earth in full view of the people. Because of the signs, it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast. It deceived the inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the beast, so the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666. It says, he who has wisdom, calculate the number of the beast. This is a little bit more complicated, but his first name is 117 in gematria. Barack times 2 is 234. His birth date is 216. 216 times 4 is the reflection of 234, which is 432. 234 plus 432 is 666. It says that you need wisdom to calculate the number of the beast, and wisdom is 37. All of the triple numbers can be divided by 37. 666 divided by 37 equals 18. Jesus prophesied who would personify the Antichrist. This is Hebrew. Barak means lightning. From is a conjugate. It's O, and Bama. That comes straight from Hebrew. This isn't a joke. The coronavirus is a perfect situation for them to cause desperate people to want a savior. Now I'm going to show you the miracle that happened at the White House, but keep in mind they did this backwards. They motioned and let each other know when it was going to happen. I watched their body language, saw there was something weird there. I reversed it, and then I found this, and I was shocked. I wanted to show you this segment from the White House. This is when they were showing off their new toy to the other Satanists. So I noticed they were behaving weirdly, and I know that they do things in reverse. So when I saw them walking in front of each other and giving strange looks, and then Trump points. I knew at that point to reverse it and watch and see what was uncovered. They are using it in that instance. Their bodies in reverse will glide in a supernatural way. This is impossible.
Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President.
They know how to twist their words to sound like one thing when it's in fact another thing. You can clearly hear that man saying prism when it's supposed to sound like president. I think it's a prism, and I think that's how they let each other know that's when it was happening at that moment. Watch her behavior. Watch Trump's. They cross each other. She gives a look, a very stern look, when she gets to the pillar, because that's the point where it needs to be reversed so that they can see supernatural effects that the prism, he called it Miss Prism, can do. It's a prism.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
She winks, and Trump pats his hand on his thigh, because that's the moment that they're telling each other to reverse it so that they can see how the image works. They're letting each other know beforehand, before it happens. They're very proud of this. It's like a dress rehearsal. For any of you who say I doctored it, go ahead and I'll give you the link. Go ahead and pull it yourself. And at the point where he points and she winks by the pillar, that's when you reverse it and you can see it yourself. After the slide, watch where Trump says, okay, because he's signaling the point when they're done with the supernatural effect in reverse. Yes, they speak in reverse, think in reverse. I'm showing you the segment. This is forward, okay? So that you can see it. This is very slow. I slowed it down to 10%. Look at how intentional their movements are. Also note the contraption that's behind them. Look at the look on her face. He points, smacks down on his thigh, makes a gun ASL sign. It's in reverse, 10%. Gun ASL sign, smacks his thigh, points, she winks, that's the spot. Then they supernaturally slide. He says okay with his mouth, because that's when they're finished.
Mr. President, has ever seen Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President, has ever seen
No one was supposed to find this. Look at the view. It's impossible to see with the view that they showed at the White House. It's only possible to see with editing. But I know that they're hiding things in plain sight, and I noticed their behavior around the door was really odd, so I looked closer. That's a one-handed sign for projector, projection, or, movie, something that has to do with an image. Okay, this is movie, or I remember it being like projection, something that's displayed on a screen.
Movie, just moving your hand back and forth.
So you see how we did it a tiny bit differently, but they tried, they're not going to be so obvious. The bald guy nods his head. They're getting ready to show it, what it can do. That is where they show it. He motions over to the door where there's all the smudges. Matter is going to morph around his head and also on the blue wall. I'm showing you from the view without editing, and I bet you didn't see anything. He nods. They're ready to go. Okay. So behind his head, that's why they bowed their heads, because you're going to be able to see it behind his head. He looks at the smudges. You'll see them change color when he moves forward. There's a disturbance around his head. There's kind of like a wavy, like a halo effect. He rocks back and forth so that you can see the white smudges moving, and you can see the halo slightly. This is how good of an effect and how deceiving it is. Now I'm going to show you in greater detail. Look around his head. Now look at the smudges morph just a tiny bit right there. Look at it casting a bluer, look at that right there. Right there. Right there. This is the bottom of the barrel that it can do. They're just showing that they can change things visually to morph. The image maker is going to produce such signs that it would deceive the very elect if it were possible. That's a passage from the scriptures. You have to understand, I wasn't supposed to find this because look at the view. Look, and who was to know what they were doing when he was rocking back and forth a tiny bit? But I do look carefully because I know they're hiding things and they speak with body language. You know how I told you that they speak in a numbered language? That's gematria. They will code what this is when speaking gematria. that this is the image of the beast. Dr. Fauci does that waving thing, which in ASL is a sign for projection, projector, or like a movie. So film, something like that. He lifts up his eyebrows. It's a signal, it's a sign, because eyebrows is gematria equivalent for the image of the beast. Eyebrows is 1532. 136 is also 1532. The image of the beast has a gematria of 136. I'll show you right now. They've been taking on a test run on television this past week. I've noticed some weird things, and I didn't know what it was until I saw the White House thing, and then I realized they were projecting the image of the beast, and that's why I saw some weird irregularities. This is taken directly from the clip. Strangely, he starts out by saying BO and then whatever, whatever, which it was kind of a weird, clunky, incomplete thing that he said. But I realized that he was saying BO for Barack Obama. Very first two things he said was BO. It's very strange, so I played it directly from the beginning of the clip.
Video, if he's available.
Chris motions with his eyes because that's right when they're going to show it, and they're letting each other know when they're going to show it.
If he's available. There he is. Video, if he's available.
Watch when it fuzzes out a little bit. I think that's the projection. I think they compared the real him and the projection.
With his hat, Cuomo prime time, his hat, Cuomo prime time. Say hello to kids. Say hello to kids.
Kiet is 306. The following matched Kiet. These are also 306. This is from the original Hebrew. Vision, 306. Kiet. Appearance, the word is Mara. And 306 is Nasha, deceive. 306, deceiving vision is equal to Kiet. Mara, vision. Nasha, deceive.
Say hello to kid. There, I saw it. I saw it.
He turns his hat backwards. He makes a point of it. His brother says, "Yes, I see it." Look at him pointing to his backwards cap and then says, "Let's get after it."
So it's hard to miss. You're looking. Let's get after it. Let's get after it. I love that saying. You're looking fit.
Cuomo prime time. Cuomo prime time is 661. 166 is the Hebrew word for selim, which is image. 166 is Selim. Image. Showed his hat. Colon prime time. It's 166 backwards. Selim. Image. They just showed it to you. Look, I noticed something weird with the eyes. And then I slowed it down and I saw that they've been showing it for like a week now. I'll show you some other instances too. Okay, so let's see what's, and then this is where I found the spot to pause it, and that's, look. That's an image. The backwards cap is a signal. This was in 2017, so they're signaling the backwards cap right now.
I saw it. It's hard to miss. You're looking. Let's get after it. Let's get after it. I love that saying. You're looking fit.
This made it all over the news. Backwards cap. It's a signal. Backwards hat. It's a signal. It's getting serious.
Formal prime time. Say hello to kid. Say hello to kid. There, I saw it. I saw it. It's hard to miss. You're looking. Let's get after it. Let's get after it. I love that saying. You're looking.
So every room in the house is like a different fort.
Yeah.
It's
Just forts everywhere in my
forts. So every room in the house is like a different
A tiny bit of disturbance, the image will
fort.
wave. Look,
It's
right
fort.
there.
yeah.
It's fort.
Yeah.
It's fort.
Yeah.
It's fort.
There.
Yeah.
It's fort.
There.
Yeah.
It's fort.
Yeah.
It's
There's forts everywhere in my house too. All my tables are turned into forts.
yeah.
It's insane. Today we made Play-Doh.
He says Play-Doh, and then her nose will morph after he says Play-Doh. How apt. They're letting each other know this is the image, this is not the real Kim, so they can see how good of a disguise this image is. It looks like a real person.
It's insane. Today we made Play-Doh.
I'm going to move my cursor back and forth so you can see it. No one would ever be able to tell. The detail is so minute. but her nose shifts from left to right.
Today we made Play-Doh. Today we made Play-Doh. Today we made Play-Doh. Today we made Play-Doh.
I found the place where there was a tiny bit of disturbance. Now I'm wiggling it back and forth so you could see that the bridge of her nose, like the bone area itself, is moving, and that's not possible. People can wiggle their nose and flare their nostrils, but they can't move the entire bridge of their nose.
There's forts everywhere in my house too. All my tables are turned into forts.
Yeah.
It's insane. Today we made Play-Doh.
Oh, wow.
So everything was blue in the house. Obviously after that. Obviously after that.
Your chest does kind of look fake. So look at this. Nobody can move their Adam's apple all the way down. So what is that? Some of you might say it's a shadow, but all the other stuff I'm showing you, take that all together, and this is an image. This is fake.
Obviously after that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So everything was blue in the house. Obviously after that. Obviously after that. What?
You can see a little disturbance. Watch. Right there. Right there. Right there. Wait, there. See it? The definition changes. They're changing the definition so that they can show each other that that's just the image. It's so deceiving that you can't tell, except for the tiniest little details.
After that.
Here.
What?
This is ASL for look. He's signaling when it's happening.
I'm like hiding from them.
Jimmy's gonna say I just did it really fast because they're showing each other. There's a little disturbance in her ear, so her ear will wiggle back and forth.
No, it's great. I just did it.
Or I'm like hiding from them.
No, it's great. I just did it. No, it's great. I just did it. 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 Just did it.
They added pixels, and Jimmy just said did it when it morphs so that they can show each other that this is the image. This is not the real Kim. No one would notice this. This is the view that everyone sees. The image nods when it's happening. I'm sorry, but people's ears don't grow when they're talking. See how deceiving that is? He said, I just did it so that they would know when it was happening, so they could know if that was, because they're rolling it out, they're showing each other beforehand, so they know what time it is, okay? Because they're giving out gematria codes for what date it's going to happen. The beast comes at night. Look at that. No one grows their ear in milliseconds. Those are pixels. Deceiving devils.
No, it's great. I just did it. We were there. It's great. I just did it.
And he puckers his lips because they're going to show it in the mouth next.
That's a great one.
Onward, we can't wait for trolls.
I know, right? It's a.
Puts his hand on his lower lip. That's where it's going to
I know.
glitch.
Onward, we can't wait for trolls.
I know, right? It's a. I know. I. 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 I know. I know. I. 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 I know. I know. I. 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 I know. I know.
We can't wait for trolls.
I know, right? It's a. I know.
Before we do anything this hour, we want to check in with Chris. How you doing,
Chris?
bud?
How you feeling?
I'm doing well. The beast comes at night.
Chris. How you doing,
Chris?
bud?
How you feeling?
I'm doing well. The beast comes at night.
At night is equal to April 1, but they hide with the Gregorian conversion. April 1 is April 14th. I keep seeing 414, 413, so that's a possibility. I'm also seeing things associated with 408 and Easter, so that's another possibility.
Do anything this hour? We want to check in with Chris. How you doing,
Chris?
bud?
How you feeling?
I'm doing well. The beast. You know, as we know, the healthcare workers have taken to calling the virus the beast. And the virus the beast. And taken to calling the virus the beast. I understand why. My fever.
Watch the smudges behind his head. Look, They bounce. This is an image. This is not the real person. Look at the halo behind him. This is so deceptive.
Ultimately, the goal is to ease the guidelines and open things up to very large sections of our country as we near the end of our historic battle with the invisible enemy. It'll go on for a while, but we win. We win. We win. We win.
Check this out. It's code within a code. Trick. False prophet. Trick. New win.
I said earlier today that I hope we can do this by Easter. I think that would be a great thing for our country, and we're all working very hard to make that a reality. We'll be meeting with a lot of people to see if it can be done. Easter is a very special day for many reasons. For me, for a lot of...
He paused and looked down when he said a lot of 408, and Easter is also equal to 408. 408. Passover begins on April 8th.
A lot of our friends, that's a very special day. And what a great timeline this would be. Easter as our timeline, what a great timeline that would be.
He kept saying timeline. Timeline is 522. This ties into the sign of Jonah. If you're new and you haven't seen my video, you won't understand what I'm talking about. So I will try and remember to link it. If I don't, just let me know. The campfire was a huge event as far as the last day's events go. So 4/8/2020 from the campfire is, I'm sorry, 4/13 is 522, and he says timeline. Okay. So that's why I'm so confused about, I mean, are they just talking about whole span of Easter? Well, it goes to 4/16, so. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that so that you would understand. I'm not saying specifically what date, I just know it's soon. I just keep seeing the 408, so we'll see. April 8th to April 16. And then they keep doing 4/13, which is 3 days from April 16. I just wanted to bring more attention to the end date of the Passover that I was telling you. It's April 16th. Surgeon General Jerome Adams said coronavirus is a defining moment for this generation. The hardest and saddest week of most Americans' lives, as death toll is expected to peak next Thursday, which is April 16th. They just keep pointing to Passover, the week. He nods over there to show that the display presentation is ready. The image projection, it causes the smudges to become more blue because it's casting a layer over it, I believe. And then behind him, you can see the smudges bounce. So you can see there's like a little field around him. And then they bounce back. This is very deceptive. No one would be able to tell. Look at that. I'm showing you in great detail just so you know that this is actually real. This is actually happening. This is cream backwards. She's wearing cream. The pillar appears cream as well. Cream. Cream is 119. Nissan 19 is April 13th. So that's why I keep seeing that. So I just wanted to let you know.
Chris. How you doing,
Chris,
bud?
how you feeling?
Noah is spelled Noach. He said, I'm doing in a real forced way. It's 103. The 103rd day of the year is April 13th. Noach is 102. Noach is 102. April 13th is the 103rd day of the year. So they're pretty close. I don't know exactly why they're coding both those numbers, 102 and 103.
I'm doing well. The beast comes at night.
Okay, so she whispers cream, then she looks at the column because 517 is the gematria for April 13. See, it's 517 there. And the Hebrew word for pillar or column is 517. My birthday is April 13th and my daughter's is 517. And so this is all mapped out. I was supposed to show you guys this. The word ama is cubit, but it's also pillar and column or post. Ama, amud, pillar, column. Ama is cubit and post. They have the same root. the campfire date, the sign of Jonah date. If you haven't seen my video, please watch it so you'll understand. It was 2018. They made a big deal of that fire. And 2/4/8/2020 is 517 days as well. So it's the week of the Passover from 4/8 to 4/13. It looks like they're signaling. She shows that on the page. This is the same dimension as the temple and the Holy of Holies. This is Thessalonians talking about the harpazo, which is the snatching away of the believers. No one deceive you in any way, for it will not come until the rebellion occurs and the man of lawlessness, the son of destruction, is revealed. He will oppose and exalt himself above every so-called God or object of worship, so he will seat himself in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. Do you not remember that I told you these things while I was with you? We just saw them show the temple. They're getting ready.
Happy birthday, Doctor.
39 years old. 39 years old. 39 years old. 39 years old. 39 years old.
Happy birthday, Doctor.
Campfire 11/8 to 4/13 is 522. The gematria for birthday is 522. So this is coded pinpointing the date to them.
Thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Okay, watch Dr. Fauci right now. Okay, he goes all the way over. He like leans all the way over. And he's motioning with his hand on that side because behind her there's like something sticking out to the side. Do you see how she's making it be shown by moving? These people are sick. Or demons. Okay, watch. I'm moving back and forward with my cursor. Do you see that? Look. Something's sticking out here, just like he motioned. See, look. Waving on that side. It's on her side, and there's something sticking out. Whoa, did you see that light flashing on that right there? Because they want to show each other what's going on. Do you see that?
We think it'll be a tool to help us get people back to work. It'll be additional information. We think it'll be a tool to help us get people back to work. It'll be additional information because, as you know, if you have an antibody, that means you were exposed and have recovered from it. That, with the information about diagnosis, should help. Put a call out to the academic labs around the country to do this, and we've been working very closely with a number of manufacturers, so we think that it can be scaled up relatively quickly. Mr. President. Mr. President, a question for Dr. Fauci. In a recent interview, Mr. President. Mr. President, a question for Dr. Fauci. In a recent interview, In a recent interview, Mr. President. Mr. President, a question. Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President. Can be scaled up relatively quickly. Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President.
And a third angel followed them, calling out in a loud voice, "If anyone worships the beast and its image and receives its mark on its forehead or on its hand, he too will drink the wine of God's anger poured undiluted into the cup of his wrath, and he will be tormented in fire and sulfur and the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb.